Podcasts brought to you by Real Terrio Radio. Around the world today here on Real Terrio Radio.
Hello and welcome to episode 2, series 3 of Around the World Today, here on Real Terrio Radio Podcast. So we're talking about a topic So we're going to talk about a topic that's, a bit close to everyone's heart, because, we've all been there in this topic. And the thing is, we're talking about hatred, and, everyone has hated or disliked or pushed someone aside, because you were jealous of them, and the definition of hate is, so the verb is to feel intense dislike for. So, in a way you would say the boys hate each other. Well, sometimes that can be true because boys, let's just face it, don't get on. And as I'm recording this, I'm looking out of a window, and I must say that my neighbours across the road, who live on the next street down's fence, that they've only just put up a couple of weeks ago, may need a new fence. Thank you, Dennis. But anyway, back to hate. And the funny thing is, I don't hate my neighbours. Go figure, eh? So, okay, so a noun for hate is the intense dislike. So you can use words such as loathing. And the reason we're doing this is because with the country, the United Kingdom, being so divided, so, pulled one way or the other. You hate this person because he's left. You hate this person because he or she votes right wing. You dislike this person because they voted for Brexit. You can't stand this person. You think he's absurd because he voted Remain. Starting to hear something here. How about, instead of hating each other, why can't we just respect the other's opinions? Do you know what I mean? If you have courage, the moral courage, to say, well, yeah, I voted for Labour, I dislike Conservatives, but, it's not that I dislike Conservatives, it's what it really should be about, and what you really should be saying is, I just don't like the way that they run the country. That's, fine. If you voted to leave the European Union, and you're talking, and I hear it so many times that Remainers, or as they're calling them, Ramonas, hate Brexiteers. Oh, and did you know that Brexiteers are, by all accounts, stupid, uneducated people? There are terms and slogans like that are being used to deride the country and divide the country. But not only the country, think about it in families. There are families out there that voted both Remain and their family members who voted Leave. These people could live in the same house. But if politicians, the media, the normal media outlet had their own way, these people would really hate each other, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? That's what my personal opinion, and you get a lot of my opinion from here because, just happens to be my podcast. But my personal opinion is that the media are to blame. Politicians are to blame. The environment has got so toxic over Brexit, over the general election, over Jeremy Corbyn, over Boris Johnson, over who's in charge of Scotland? Nicola Sturgeon. Do you know what I mean? The toxic, even over the EU. Something 10 years ago that we would, if you said to me 10 years ago, wait, Terry, first you're studying theology and the United Kingdom would leave the European Union. Do you know what I would say? I would sit you down and I would have said to you, are you having a giraffe? Literally. Because, firstly, with the European Union, we'll go there first because it's a bit, because I want to know how we get away from hate and I want to use the theology side. So we're going with the European Union. Considering we were so intertwined into the European Union and its systems, its organisational structure, and, British people were moving to the EU. EU people were moving to the UK. And, it came to a point that this wasn't going to happen. Another decade, do you really think Article 50 would have been served to the European Union, let alone a majority to start Article 50 proceedings? Now, another thing that really does get to me about this whole Brexit stuff, Brexit isn't over. The only thing that is over is that we, the United Kingdom, have served Article 50. So, when our awesome Prime Minister, whose name I'm not going to mention because I have to play a tune, and I can't remember which tune I have to play when we met. Oh, wait there, yes I do remember. Boris Johnson! Okay, what they don't seem to think, the media has changed the words Article 50 to Brexit. The spin doctors within the Conservative, the Labour and the Liberal Democrats and any other political party also changed the words Article 50 to Brexit. So this allowed the UK to think that on the 31st of January, when the UK just, signed and left the political makeup of the European Union and Article 50 was served, this got people to believe, well, Brexit is done. Actually, Brexit is far from done, my friends. We are still one country. Now, hate. Do we really need to hate people? Why can't you just go take your neighbours? I love my neighbours. I have an awesome family one side, not so awesome the other side, and a new French neighbour across the road. But the thing that we all have in common is that we get to live on our street, we all have to get on, and the one thing that I'm learning from the storms that we've had over the weekend in the United Kingdom is the fact that community is still there. No one actually really hates each other. You hate their points of view, but you don't hate the people. And you shouldn't hate the people. Now back to theology. Yes, you did say 10 years ago you'll be studying a theology degree and you'll actually be seeking to explore calling. Do you know what I really would have said to you? Are you drunk? That's actually what I would have said. With a few expletives in there as well. But from actually reading the Bible, from, talking with other theology students and some priests, and it's not true that all priests smell of mothballs or, they like to have a drink. But to go back to it and to go into theology, I have had my eyes open. I believe I have in this whole hatred stuff. There does seem to be dark forces working, and I don't mean dark forces as in the devil, and I don't mean dark forces, when I say good forces in line with God. I mean dark forces. There are people pushing hate out there because it gets what they want done. Do you know what I mean? If the country is divided, well, that's good for the people in power because they get to keep power. Do people actually have common sense? Look at America. America's a very good country when it's, united. But when America is divided, when both legislative houses can block the president from going to war. Do you know what I mean? That's been done. But won't vote him out. You've got to ask yourself, why are these dark forces winning? Because the people of this country, in my opinion, aren't able to come out and say, what they're saying. What they want to happen. Because media organisations, politicians, are just trying to keep us divided and to hate each other. So my suggestion about hate is, why not just do one random act of kindness today? Go out, see a homeless person, buy some sausage roll from Greg's, or go and knock on an old person's door on your street. Ask them, are you okay after the storms? Do you need me to go to the shop for you? Or, even better, go and visit a loved one today. Give them a hug, and I always tell you this. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. If it's a family member you haven't spoken to for a very long time, I'm going to remind you, life is short. It's too short to be hating. Maybe just go bury a hatchet. Not in the head, but bury the hatchet. A lot of stuff unites us. You'll probably find that more stuff unites you than more stuff that divides you. Now, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Around the World today. Episode 2, Series 3. Let's get that one right. And you've been listening to podcast by Real Terrio Radio. If you do want to come and look at us or any of our other podcasts, you can go to realterrio.com. Or you can Facebook us, and it's facebook.com/realterrio, or you can send me a tweet, and it's @realterrio. Or you can tweet me personally, and it's @RTTerryD. And I will see you next week for Around the World today. Remember, we got a podcast on Wednesday for the World of Disability with me and Terry Begley, and we're looking forward to doing it because we're talking about something that I like: transport and disability. Oh, I know. I think we're going to need to do at least more than one podcast on that. And the same about hate. We will come back to this topic at a later date. Guys, remember, an act of random kindness. Go and give someone a hug. Go and bury the hatchet. Do you know what I mean? Forget the hate. Just, say, screw you, hate. Let's move on and be nice. And I hope you have a pleasant week, and my prayers go out to you all. Bye bye.